Oh. Hey, so basically, SpongeBob is my second favorite show of all time. Despite that fact, I've really only made one video of it on my channel because my first video was an unboxing of the VHS. It wasn't even like the Captain Underpants Collector's Edition where I still did a retrospective. I did a SpongeBob Popsicle retrospective. So, not really of the actual series. Now, I guess you could also say that with The Simpsons, because I talked about the Butterfinger commercial, so I guess maybe I'll give SpongeBob a pass. But I talked about the 5th episode of the entire series. Very random. I wanted to talk about the first one, but that video got banned. But now I know a bit more about copyright claims and stuff. So I did it on episode 5, because I didn't want to make the same video again. And episode 5 is the first super good episode of the series, in my opinion. Home Sweet Pineapple and Pizza Delivery, just one of my favorite episodes. And it was an early episode, so I thought I would do it. But today, hold on, wait, focus. Today I'm talking about the first season of SpongeBob. Also, I got a haircut. I know it's different, but my hair's going to be like this the rest of my life. Joking. Oh, no. But, pretty sure I said this in the last video. I am going to be making a Phineas and Ferb video soon. I had this eBay listing, of these plushes that I'm probably going to use, for the video, because aside from like the one DS game right there, and then I also have the second dimension on the DS, I have next to nothing. Also, sorry if my room's a tad bit messy, I've kind of been doing stuff. But yeah, and unlike the Drake and Josh season 1 retrospective, this one is actually going to be way shorter, because I'm not talking about every single episode. I might, point out some of the episodes, but I honestly don't even have time to talk about all 40 episodes technically, because there's 2 and 1. So, I guess let's just get on with the video. Alright, let me start off by saying season 1 doesn't have the greatest animation. It is still pretty good. It's not like the first season of The Simpsons compared to the second, but it's also cell animated, unlike all the other seasons. So if you want animation cell, you can only get it from season 1 episodes. And also, it makes season 1 stand out more, because season 1 is actually kind of a pretty generic season. I'm actually not gonna lie. And of course, I'm probably not going to be talking about the pilot right now. That can be for a different time. But basically, if you don't know SpongeBob, he's a sponge. He works at a fast food restaurant called the Krusty Krab. He has a boss who's super stingy. He has 2 neighbors. Squidward, who is, the boring, kind of rude neighbor. And Patrick, like SpongeBob's best friend, who's also an idiot. He also has a friend named Sandy, who is a squirrel. She's also, the main genius character of the show. But, they kind of just phase out all her cool traits, like about Texas and, all the sports she likes, and basically just makes her the smart one. And SpongeBob has a pet snail named Gary, who eats a lot, and that's all he really does. And also, the main bad guy of the show is Plankton. Even though he's not really SpongeBob's enemy, he's Mr. Krabs' enemy. While SpongeBob works for the Krusty Krab, Plankton is, I guess his main enemy too. Really, though, most of season 1 is kind of just introduction episodes. It's especially clear with the first couple, despite episode 2 having literally no introduction to anything besides Larry, and it's not even an introduction to him, really. It's just kind of, like, oh, there's this new guy. But the episode isn't about him. One thing I will say that episode 2, Bubble Stand, or A does, is it shows, the basic type of, chemistry between, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. And those classic episodes are known as some of the best. And, Idiot Box, Club SpongeBob, those are all kind of except Club SpongeBob isn't in the same setting, but, and, SpongeBob likes jellyfishing, too, on his days off, and that's what episode 3A is about, and then, the other one's about plankton. It's actually just called Plankton. Then episode 4A is, about a different thing, but then we get introduced to boating school, because SpongeBob goes to school, he is jellyfishing, and he has a job. I don't know how he does this. He only has, 1 day off a week. So, does he just have another day off for boating school? I don't know. Also, I should probably mention that a lot of people don't fully think about this a lot. SpongeBob is a 90s cartoon. It's not, most people would be like, oh, that's not really a 90s cartoon. My 90s cartoons were, Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, Rocco, Cat Dog. But no, SpongeBob is still a 90s cartoon. Even though it came out, kind of the second half of the last year. But it is still a 90s show. And heck, the first episode, it says it here, April 30th. So, SpongeBob is a 90s show just for, 10 episodes. But I would say, though, of the season, the weakest episodes that are paired together that make one episode is probably episode 8, Sandy's Rocket and Squeaky Boots. There was something about Squeaky Boots. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be, the episode paired with Help Wanted or something. But I don't know. I just kind of actually forgot. I honestly kind of feel like the second half of season 1 is better. It's definitely... The first half is way more needed because the first half introduces most of the characters. Or at least the main things. Yeah, I'm looking and there's not, really a thing that introduces something. Besides... King Neptune and Rock Bottom. But Rock Bottom isn't a character, it's just a location. But yeah, I feel like the second half is way more interesting because it doesn't have to introduce all these characters. But it is worth noting that only episode 15 through 20 was in the year 2000. Because the first 14 came out in 1999. But there is something interesting I would like to point out. That these actually kind of had, there's kind of a holiday, special. And by holiday, I mean, not Christmas. With this episode having 2 episodes both paired about Halloween. This one is about, Halloween itself. Well, this one is mostly just about a horror story. Now, a lot of people call I Was a Teenage Gary the worst classic episode. And now, this is probably a guilty pleasure I really like I Was a Teenage Gary. It's definitely not in my top 10, not 20, not 30, but it might be in my 50 of the, 120 original episodes. I really like it. I kind of like it more than Scaredy Pants. I do think towards the, beginning and even kind of end, it's not that great. But the middle is pretty alright. It also left a big conspiracy for, lost media and stuff about that Squidward deleted scene. And, that might be a bit of bias, but... I also have always loved more so, werewolf parody or zombie type stuff. And, this episode is a werewolf type of episode, so that's why I think I Was a Teenage Gary is pretty good. But there's a VHS and DVD released called Halloween, and I believe at least 3 of the episodes are from this. Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, Scaredy Pants, I Was a Teenage Gary, and I'm pretty sure Frankendoodle was one of them, and I don't remember the other. the other episode, I just looked it up. It was actually imitation crabs. I will say, though, episode 14A, SB129, is probably my favorite, to be honest, of the first season. It might be, I don't know, I do really like the episode Arg and Rock Bottom and stuff, which those are two paired together. But SB129 is the craziest and is almost, I want to say, like, self-aware. It's really weird. It's the craziest concept. Squidward goes to it's also to time travel and stuff. It's really crazy. This is stuff that doesn't even happen in some of the newer episodes. So I do like that this episode took a risk. It's also really important because there's a lot of memes like the future. I don't know why I said it like that. The famous caveman Spongebob. I believe the double-headed Patrick is a meme. And yeah, there's more. I'm pretty sure, like the alone. But yeah, that was my short review of SB129. But I will be doing an actual main review later down the line. Maybe not this year, but next year. And then the season ends. Not a bang, but kind of a blow. Hookie's a pretty good episode, but I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm saying sorry. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 is not a very good episode. Heck, actually, not every single Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode, but the first 5, or I guess 6, 2 is the weakest. Sorry. But season 1 is pretty important. You know, the cell animation, there's a lot of memes from it. And, you know, kind of just getting the series started and establishing all these things, it's really cool. And, yeah, that's kind of it for season 1. Tell me what you guys think about season 1. Or don't. Just don't. Because, yeah. But that's going to be the end, so I guess, bye.